Уважаемые. Так. Ой, ярко. Здравствуйте. Скоро все начнется. Ваш переводчик прибыл. Здорово, здорово, здорово. Здравствуйте. Через 4 минутки будем сидеть смотреть. Сюда подписка. Сюда. Спасибо. Что так ярко-то? Готовьте свои руны. На. Так. Картинка есть, картинка и звук есть, и есть. Все. Дропсы в 23:00. Дропсы в 23:00. Страницу 23:00. Обновите просто. Все, 23:00. Можно, наверное, обновлять страницу. Карабосы сейчас начнутся. Не понял. Where is my коробка? Ну, жду. С одной стороны, хорошо, что новый класс будет, но с другой стороны, это пизда. Почему? У кого-нибудь пошло? Коробка у кого-нибудь пошла? Нет. Я думаю, коробку запустят вот через 1,5 минуты. Нерфить, бафать. Да тебе чё? Тебе что ли нерфить, бафать? Я не пойму. Дают играй. Тебя как будто заставляют, я не понимаю. Покупать, играть. Чё ты бухтишь-то? Мне вот интересно. Еще ничего не вышло, уже бухтят. Чё бухтеть-то? Ага. Вырубаю музон на фоне. Делаю чуть-чуть потише, наверное. Коробка. Сейчас, погоди. Коробки нет. Ладно, сидим. «30 секунд. Ребь за 30 секунд, господи. Маунтов. Я ничего... Ну, блин, я видел, но я не разглядывал. Чё мне? Сейчас мне все это покажут. Поехали! Что тут у нас? Давайте, указывайте. Наверное, есть смысл обновить страницу прямо сейчас. Коробки нет. Ну, вода, вода, водой. Где коробка? Где дропы? Зосы? Работяг показывают. Работяги. Тачки в Teso. Да-да-да, работяги, которые блок сломали. Нам нужны машины геймерские. Вы там обновляете, как пойдут карабосы, вы скажите, я тоже страницу обновлю тогда. А, погоди, у меня же есть вкладочка.
I'm Dennis Reese, executive producer of Minecraft Legends, and today we'd like to give you an insider's look at how we're building the PvP multiplayer experience for the game. Minecraft Legends is a new action strategy game set in a lush, dynamic
На в каналах нету тегов Drops. Должны быть. Две коробки. В 23 и в 23:45 должны давать.
Minecraft Legends will let you play the story-driven campaign as an online co-op experience together with your friends. And it will also feature a PvP gameplay mode where two teams with up to 4 players each works to destroy the opponent's team space. The game will support cross-platform play and online.
Сейчас у нас будет 45 минут просто всякая хрень, а потом Teso. Сидим.
And it's been wonderful to see their commitment and focus on the Minecraft universe.
It's so much fun to be working with Mojang Studios on Minecraft Legends.
Here at Blackbird Interactive, we have a talented team of developers who are using our background in strategy games to bring a new and exciting experience.
Если надо будет сделать погромче, вы мне скажите, я сделаю.
We're super excited to share more details about PvP gameplay.
Погромче, когда про Teso будет, да, я сделаю.
First off, players share their army and resources with their team. This means that individual players aren't able to win on their own. They must cooperate to be successful.
Communication is really important, and you can sort of really tell the teams that gel together because they naturally form roles at the beginning of the game, and as soon as we start, you're off collecting, I start building. We have our favorite roles, but we change them up.
Новая Teso, ребят. My English is perfectly. Плюс дольмен.
Different every time you play, depending on how the map is generated, where the valleys are, the mountains are, where the secrets are, you know, where the towers are.
In Minecraft Legends, the piglins are an ever-present threat, and this includes PvP.
Нахер Teso, говка в Майнкрафт.
They're trying to kill both of you at the same time.
Можно ссыль на Twitch беседки. Можно ссыль на Twitch беседки? Есть. Есть. Триальчик в апокрифе. Посмотрим. Может, арена будет.
But whenever I get into a PvP match, the first thing I try to do is to track down the regal tiger. It's my favorite monster ride because it's really fast, but it's also really cute.
For players who like building, you can spend your time building defenses and upgrading your base, because soon enough your enemy will attack.
ЗБС мага добавят.
So the first thing I do when we start is everyone runs off.
Надеюсь, будет хорошим.
Where the enemy base is. First thing I build is what we call an upgrade tower, where it allows you to build upgrades. So I place that at the back, away from the enemy.
Как понять, что коробки дали?
So I really pride myself.
А у тебя там счетчик пойдет. Таймер.
Impenetrable bases.
Since the goal of PvP is to destroy the opposing team's base, defending your own base is really
Кому там 20 коробок упало? Сейчас забаню.
After that, you can just add whatever you want, freestyle it a bit. I like to add different layers of walls, so my opponents have to find their way through to my base, almost like a maze.
And then once those walls are up, I like to actually hide my ice traps behind them to catch enemies off guard.
When it comes time to finally take out the enemy team, my favorite strategy is to make a forward camp just outside the enemy base.
Коробок
Then I get
нет.
the biggest, strongest mobs I can as fast as I can and start sending them in. Then I can smash down the walls, take out their mobs, and claim victory.
The real fun of PvP is creating a strategy, having a game plan, deciding how you think you're going to crush the enemy, and then all of a sudden the hosts tell you...
Teso, думаешь, будут? Вроде как говорили, что две будет. Одна в 23:00, вторая в 23:45.
You just have to be constantly changing your tactics. And sometimes you like have no idea what they're doing.
Сейчас что-то не дают.
You certainly find out very quickly.
Я звоню в полицию.
A while back, we had somebody on our dev team use a strategy where they built a bunch of what are called plank golems, which are archers. So they're very weak, but they do a high.
Пока никак не дают коробки, ребят. Держу в курсе. Будут позже. Сидим, смотрим Майнкрафт, наслаждаемся. У меня не показано, что дропсы есть. А ты в курсе, что ты на ютубе сидишь? У меня тоже не показано. Что я могу поделать? Ужасная графика какая-то. Понимаю. О, в апреле 23-го ждем. Ну, я тоже сижу на Твиче. У меня нет коробок. Если надо сделать погромче, ребят, вы мне скажите, я сделаю погромче. Новые маунты. Сюда. Teso, будь, сделаю погромче, да. Чуть-чуть могу сейчас. Сижу на ютубе, у Тесошника, коробок нет.
Forza Motorsport features over 500 cars for you to collect, race, and customize with more than 800 unique upgrades. This includes over 100 new to motorsport.
Я не понял, а где гуары?
The most modern race cars we've ever featured on our
Где
roster.
гуары, Зосы?
Racing is violent. It's a battle on the racetrack. The advancements in our physics model are greater than Forza Motorsport 5, 6, and 7 combined. This makes our driving experience more fun and rewarding in the way the car accelerates, corners, and brakes. Our materials and shaders are built from the ground up at higher resolutions and optimized for a cutting-edge ray tracing experience. Our paints are sourced using a spectrophotometer to capture multiple data points of light behavior on a surface. This yields a paint model that has a much more realistic light response across color, metal flake, and gloss. Damage and dirt buildup is unique to each car. It's now contextually aware and more localized. We simulate paint thickness, chipping, and directionality. Dirt accumulation is more realistic, gathering more in the low-pressure areas like recesses and alcoves. These innovations tell the story of the work you put into a race and reflects the marks and battle scars of motorsport.
This is our best-sounding Forza Motorsport ever, and the first to be mixed natively for immersive audio formats like Windows Sonic and Dolby Atmos. To create an immersive soundscape, Each audio system has been rebuilt from the ground up to deliver a new level of sonic depth and authenticity for our players. Modifying car parts like your
Синий
exhaust
дроп
and
раз
turbo
рекламу
change the
крутит.
car sounds in Forza Motorsport, just like it would in the real world. Every car now has a variety of
Да,
sound
сюжетку
possibilities
прошел.
based on the parts you've installed. Hardware accelerated convolution reverb accurately reproduces how sounds
Готов
and forces
врываться в
interact
новую главу.
within an acoustic space, dynamically adapting to its surroundings and creating a realistic and detailed soundscape.
Работяги. Такие лица одухотворенные.
New features like our regional track announcer system and improved tire and suspension
Уже начался
audio
стрим?
bring a new level of realism to the game.
Нет.
Here Forza Motorsport like never before. Every tire squeal,
Сижу на складе, коробки есть.
lap after lap.
Forza Motorsport launches with 20 environments, built from the ground up for this generation. You'll get to race on iconic fan favorites, as well as 5 all-new to Motorsport locations, including our first in South Africa, Kyalami. We capture our environments to an incredible level of detail. When we reference a track, our team comes back with over 3 terabytes of highly detailed photogrammetry
English
and
language.
data. Through the power of the Xbox Series consoles, we're able to use this data to draw up to 10 times more detail than previous generations. You'll see lush trees, dense grass and overgrowth vegetation, animated track life, physically based lighting and volumetric fog effects.
Ща выучу, ребят, ща выучу. 2 секунды.
That evolves organically.
Сейчас всё будет.
Tracks look alive, sound alive, and feel alive with cutting-edge visuals and crowds consisting of tens of thousands of fully animated 3D spectators, so you're always immersed in the pure spectacle of racing. For the first time in Forza Motorsport, fully dynamic time of day with weather.
На Ютубе есть русские сабы.
Racing experience where no 2 laps ever look the same. Meanwhile, dynamic track temperatures,
Really?
wet driving surfaces, and rubbering in ensure that no 2 laps
Где?
ever
На
play.
Ютубе?
I love the detail our talented team of artists have built into Kyalami.
Ща найду. А сайт какой? Беседковский?
Fast forward to night, and the vista is truly breathtaking.
Это ж великолепно
the
будет.
distant light glows of the city, a beautiful visual touch. Even the Kyalami logo itself creates visual impact every time you see it, thanks to ray-traced global illumination, which simulates how hundreds of thousands of light rays accumulate color as they bounce between surfaces. We're rendering all our environments in 4K at 60 FPS with real-time ray tracing on track to create true-to-life reflections on all smooth mirror and flat glass surfaces.
Так нет трансляции на
The
Ютубе.
incredible detail and rendering features of our track environments, Forza Motorsport is truly a generational leap ahead with unmatched visual fidelity and authenticity.
English выучил. Пытаюсь. А какой, беседа Softworks?
Forza Motorsport is back, and it's our most comprehensive game ever, with over 500 cars and 20 environments, with more new race cars than ever before. You can experience all of this in our incredible new online racing mode and in our all-new car-building focused single-player career.
Тоже арабские.
We cannot
субтитры
wait for
найду.
you to get your hands on this incredible game.
Well. Sure. А чё, так можно было, что ли? Не, ну если просто можно сабы поставить, чтобы никто не парился, это ж вообще удобненько. Сидим просто на Твиче, обновляем страницу, когда коробки посыпятся, и все. Ты это прости, пожалуйста.
Yep, that's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it's pretty standard.
Ты все равно незаменим, мы тебя очень любим.
Music player in my chest. It's powering up my new robot arm. It's making everything sync up with the beat. Let's rock. This is awesome. That's the defect.
What in the hell am I looking at?
The name's Chai, not defect.
Меня зовут Чай.
We'll take down this company. One boss at a time. Just so you know, they're insane.
Коробок нет, кстати, до сих пор.
Profession, rockstar.
Future rockstar.
I'm Shinji Mikami, studio head at Tang Gameworks. Thank you for all your support over the years.
And I'm John Johannes, director on Hi-Fi Rush.
Chill out. It'll be fine. Our core.
まあね、このゲームを僕が作ってたら、もう全然違うゲームになったと思う。だけどこういうゲームがね、生まれて本当に良かったね。
Руина. Чё?
So everyone thinks of us as putting out horror games like The Evil Within or spooky games like Ghostwire Tokyo, but this is clearly something totally different. This game hasn't already leaked.
Максимально осуждаю.
We hope it's a pleasant surprise.
Какие трудности, я не пойму.
Let's have some fun.
まあ僕はね、本当に新しいものができて、未だにワクワクしてるよ。
お、でもチームもみんなそう思ってますよ。So we've been waiting for this for a long time. So let's jump in and explain exactly what Hi-Fi Rush is.
Да, кстати, на весь экран я не могу сделать трансляцию, потому что по правилам Ютуба сторонний контент должен быть там типа 3/4 экрана, что-то такое. Какая-то такая хрень. Поэтому, увы. Смотрим половинку.
You are in total control during combat, but everything you do syncs up like an awesome music video. That's Hi-Fi Rush. You play as Chai, a wannabe rock star, victim of a weird corporate experiment that lets him sense the rhythm of the entire world pulsing to the game soundtrack.
Игра как раз под 40-90. Ну так. Руина.
As you can see, the beat moves the world around you, and it's the key to combat.
You looking for me?
Your attacks will automatically sync to land on the beat, making Hi-Fi Rush a super easy game to start playing. However, attacking on the beat leads to
Вам же видны, по идее, сабы на экране? А чё я сейчас в телефоне даже чекну? На телефоне видно, значит. Все хорошо.
Landing beat hits unleash a combo finish that adds unique musical flair and high damage attacks.
And the crowd goes wild.
Chai, Chai, Chai.
Oh,
Ну да.
Anyone see the guy that did this?
Okay.
How about we see it all in action?
Bring it on.
Эти люди стараются. Люди прям работают над этим. А кто в это играть будет?
Can jump, dodge, parry, and attack whenever you want, using whatever attacks you want. It's not about mashing buttons. The key here is feeling the beat.
Ну, я понял, Metal Singer, Hellsinger. Но...
Your progress isn't blocked by missing the beat, but you get rewarded
Дети, может
and
быть.
mechanically for staying in rhythm. When we say everything moves to the beat, we mean it. Enemy attacks, cutscenes, dangerous obstacles, you name it. It all syncs to the music, creating an ongoing jam session of a game. To help out is 808, your robot cat companion who literally hovers over your shoulder and helps you find that rhythm. But we also have visual guides to help you even more. We want you to be able to enjoy Hi-Fi Rush, whether you're Rhythm Pro or not.
Предложений без спроса не бывает, да? Значит, видимо, они считают, что это продастся все.
Chai also gets by with a little help from his friends.
Покупаю. Ё-моё, покупаю. Спасибо за подписку, здравствуйте.
There's Peppermint breaking barriers and juggling enemies, along with Macaron smashing enemy armor and knocking back enemies. Tag teaming with Chai's partners and attacks opens up huge possibilities for dynamic combos and over-the-top action.
ГГ нарисовали с нашего деда.
The extra help is handy, because when you're not fighting, you're going to be running around and wreaking havoc all over Vandelay's corporate headquarters, where everything is trying to take you down.
Где предзаказ сделать? Пока нигде. Трансляция Teso начнется в 23:45. Мы сидим, ждем.
It seems they've got something a little bit more sinister on their corporate agenda.
В игре есть котик, покупаю.
You'll fight through each department to take them all on. Each level with their own musical spin on the rock genre. And then we have a showdown.
So let's get ready to crumble.
Boss battles are climactic set pieces, varying from straight-up fights and musical minigames to chase sequences. Custom choreographed to licensed music.
Очки специальные для игры и работы за компом. У меня по жизни очки. У меня нет специальных.
Hi-Fi Rush is like nothing we've made at Tango before. And we think it's like nothing you've ever played before either. It's a high-energy,
очки, чтобы видеть.
experience that's amazingly satisfying to play.
Зачем нам инфа по другим играм? Должны были коробки давать.
Pretty rockstar move, Chai.
Я...
もしね、ハイファイラッシュでお客さんから怖いって言われたら、俺もう死んじゃうかも。まあ他にもびっくりさせることあると思うんだけど、例えば猫とか撫でれたりするの。
いや、それは当たり前でしょうね。いや、でももう一つのサプライズはありますよ。
まあこれはジョンのゲームだから、ジョンからどうぞ。
So, not only were we super psyched for you to play this, we're happy to tell you that you can play Hi-Fi Rush.
Я потом просто либо сделаю вырезку отдельно по стриму, сжатую информацию какую-то дам, либо просто на этой трансляции сделаю там тайм-код, где конкретно Teso начинается, и все.
You looking for me?
Get him!
Mind if I join?
Does that mean I have to fight?
I believe it does, sir.
How about...
This is entertaining. You're going out with the trash.
Here's your Project Armstrong pass. And welcome to Vandelay campus.
Yes!
Аниме, пацаны. Тодей. Тодей это сегодня. Видите, я английский знаю. «15 минут еще». Опа, сюда ты, Сошечка. Сюда. Сюда. Возбуднул, господи, прям, ой.
Welcome to Hunt Valley, Maryland, and
Сюда.
the headquarters of ZeniMax Online Studios. You just saw a cinematic teaser for the Elder Scrolls Online's next chapter. I'm pleased to reveal ESO Necrom will launch in June and is shaping up to be one of the best updates to the game ever. If you watch the teaser closely, you saw that Necrom will include one of the most requested features in ESO, a new playable class called the Arcanist. It's only our third new class since launch, and we know you're going to love it. The Arcanist wields magic influenced by forbidden knowledge and has unique abilities never before seen in this world. Of course, the experience of exploring a new area of Tamriel is the heart of every ESO chapter. Necrom will unfold in Eastern Morrowind, not seen in an Elder Scrolls game since 1994, where you will meet new characters and enemies, reunite with some old friends, and explore a story based around the return of a well-known Daedric prince you just might remember from the Dragonborn Skyrim DLC. For those of you new to ESO, we release a new expansion called a chapter every year. Chapters are essentially standalone games in ESO that let you adventure in a new region of Tamriel. But you don't have to wait for the Necrom chapter to jump in. We've got so many amazing experiences you can enjoy right now. If you love games like Skyrim and Oblivion, you'll feel right at home amongst the thousands of stories unfolding across every region in ESO. And as anyone who's played a classic Elder Scrolls game knows, it's all about those feelings when you're fully immersed in the world.
Руны были, да, конечно.
Remember that feeling when you first encountered a dragon? We've got an entire province that's overrun by dragons. Or questioned if you were capable of taking down a frost troll in Skyrim? Try it for yourself in ESO. What about the moment you visited a city in Morrowind that was built inside the shell of a giant crab?
Новый Класс,
For the Oblivion fans out there, how about another chance at taking on the colossal Daedric prince, Mehrunes Dagon? Just like any single-player Elder Scrolls game, you can have a blast simply by following the main quest line. Or seek out lore and learn more about the world. Become a craftsman. Go fishing. Decorate and furnish your home. Customize your character.
Я подумал.
Play it like an action RPG. And when you're ready, you can easily engage in one of the best open-world PvP systems. Run dungeons co-op with your friends for great loot. Or just join a guild to chat with others. The possibilities in this virtual world are endless. New players will immediately feel right at home because our community is one of the most, if not the most, welcoming on the planet. We invite everyone who has not yet experienced ESO to give it a try and create your own stories in our shared world. There's no required subscription and thousands of hours of content to dig into, solo or with friends. Explore nearly every corner of Tamriel with no level restrictions. It's magical being able to travel almost anywhere you please from the moment you enter the world. ESO is available on PC and Mac, in addition to previous and current-gen consoles, including a purpose-built next-gen version for the Xbox Series X and S with high-fidelity graphics and enhanced performance modes. An added bonus for Xbox players, it's on Game Pass. And starting today, for a limited time, we're making all past chapters available to explore for any player, so everyone can test drive all of our adventures, including our take on Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, and much, much more. At ZOS, we have so many passionate and talented developers who continue to add to Elder Scrolls lore by producing handcrafted, epic adventures, and I'm immensely proud to be a part of it. Believe me, we have tons more to share, and I can't wait for the team to show it all to you. Join us after this show for the 2023 ESO Global Reveal, where we'll go deep into all things Necrom. Thanks. See you in Tamriel.
Necrom. 5 июня на ПК. 5 июня сюда.
Something evil is swallowing up this place bit by bit. Nobody ever believes things can get this bad until it happens. Then, it's too late. But there are people who can fight back.
Stick together! Eyes up!
Нет, не расходимся. В 23:45.
Welcome to Redfall, Massachusetts, where the calm seas and sunny skies have been eclipsed by a legion of vampires.
Ребят, предзаказ будет доступен, как и все предыдущие годы. Предзаказ начнется после окончания трансляции. Трансляция еще по Teso не началась. Синематика, полная разблюдовка начнется в 23:45, через 10 минут. Андистент. Предзаказ будет доступен после трансляции. ПТС будет доступен в понедельник.
With Redfall, we take an exciting step forward, building a lovingly detailed open world to deliver our largest setting
Синематик новой главы, да. Как похорошел.
Every inch of our open world is carefully handcrafted and packed with environmental storytelling. Explore the streets of a quaint island town. From the once bustling downtown to the haunted forest to the decimated seaside boardwalk and gorgeously detailed landmarks.
Естественно. Разбор класса и новых шмоток. Сразу же.
There are safe places on the island where you can rest up, chat with survivors, and resupply. Here we're at the fire station, one of your home bases.
Спасибо за подписку, здравствуйте.
This is one place you'll receive missions from survivors.
There's something I need you to do. The old lighthouse in the bay. It's been used for over a century to keep boats away from the coastline.
Текущий класс не забалансили, вводит новый. А это чтоб ты отвлекся. Они такие, блин, челы на форуме ноют. Вот говно, давайте им накинем чего-нибудь, чтобы они отвлеклись. Ты же схавал. Правильно?
Here's a vampire known as the Shroud. Shrouds blanket the area in darkness, disorienting their prey.
Схаваем. Прям с лопатой.
Где
ты смотришь с русским сайтом? На ютубе. Я прям на ютубе смотрю. Вообще удивлен, что есть русские сабы. Я вообще в шоке. Сделали, серьезно. Я есть Грут. Барда бы добавили. И челики, которые орали, что хилы не нужны, будут орать, что барды не нужны. Будет тренькать в данже. Хилы не нужны, кстати, но это баг. Я есть грудь. Понял.
The lighthouse is back up, but there's more waiting for you. Taking down vampires angers the vampire gods, who will summon the Rook to take you down.
Спасибо за подписку, здравствуйте. Чё, коробки все еще не дают, да, ребят?
To what you'll find outside of the main story missions. There's so much waiting for you. Redfall is filled with encounters that can pop up anywhere, like this brewery that's fallen under cultist control. Save the locals from being offered to the vampires. Like our past games, you can approach a mission in many different ways.
Это типа сюжетный Left 4 Dead, я правильно понимаю? Только с вампирами и их не толпы, да?
Always be ready to improvise.
С каким-то элементом стелса.
Rennie uses her combat robot Bribon to help distract and eliminate the cultists.
R2D2. Что за бобина? Причем Байдовин это кооперативный, судя по всему. Правильно? Графика не Half-Life 2, я тебя удивлю. Графика Dishonored первого. Я так полагаю, и движок тот же. Графен — это первый Dishonored. Очень вот... какой-то вот дух Dishonored я здесь ощущаю. Ее делает чел, который делал первую. А, ну вот. А я чувствую что-то знакомое, прям супер знакомое. Теперь понятно.
As you investigate otherworldly psychic spaces to unravel the vampire's secrets. Take this vampire nest. These deadly layers change each time you step inside.
А я не увидел Studios.
Jacob sends out his raven to tag the enemies below. Dev follows up with his teleporter, instantly closing the gap.
Блин, как это плохо выглядит. Что за лучи? Где пули? Где... Что это за... Выстрелы из лазерных пистолетов? Что это? Анонс Teso 2? Через 5 минут где-то. 6. Через 6 минут. Блин, лучше бы Dishonored 3 сделали, ебо. Лучше бы сделали Dishonored 3, народ бы ссал кипятком. Серьезно.
Nests aren't the only psychic spaces. You'll find dangerous pockets all over the island. It's all vampire turf, so tread carefully.
I got you.
Боже, даже анимации, как из Dishonored. Я фанат Dishonored, я рекомендую все Dishonored и все дополнения и пройти не один раз по-разному. Поэтому рекомендую всеми руками и ногами. У меня даже артбуки валяются по 2 частям.
Each brings powerful, unique abilities to the fight, and the upgrades you choose change how they play. Here, Layla's lift ability can be upgraded to launch teammates for airborne attacks. Upgrade Layla's umbrella ability with bullet hail to absorb enemy bullets and release the energy back at them.
Блин, это выглядит так, как будто я играю... Знаете, вот эти вот шутеры на автоматах, когда ты стреляешь, и противники такие тупые, знаешь, стоят по полчаса, даже не двигаются. Ты стоишь, целишься в них. Выглядит это именно так.
Let's hit on the arsenal. There's a wide range of weaponry, from military gear to new vampire-slaying inventions, from shotguns to sniper rifles.
Только выглядит все абсолютно одинаково. Стрелять все абсолютно одинаково. Нет, это для тех, у кого есть друзья был.
When you reclaim significant sections of Redfall, the last step is to face the underboss who controls or used to control that neighborhood.
Я проходил Dishonored без способностей, без смертей, без сохранений, вообще без ничего. Без чисто на стелсе, чтобы меня ни разу не обнаружили. Естественно, высочайшей сложности. Потому что я очень люблю Дизу. Блин, все вампиры одинаковые. Смотри, они вообще ничем не отличаются, кроме просто. Ты эффекты делал, Dishonored?
And thank you for all the support you've shown Arcane throughout the years.
We sometimes joke that our games can be tough to define. The one thing that's consistent?
We make the kinds of games we love to play.
А могли бы еще и Prey 3 запилить, между прочим. Тоже никто бы не отказался.
Unique and customizable heroes, RPG and FPS gameplay.
And of course, our signature storytelling and rich world building.
Along with our spin on one of the most classic monsters of all time.
Vampires.
It's been amazing to see how all of us have pulled together to deliver our vision for something new.
Redfall is the biggest, most ambitious game we have ever made.
Our teams dove head first into this new opportunity, and we can't wait for you to experience Redfall for yourself.
Thankfully, you won't have to wait too much longer. Redfall's coming on May 2nd.
Thank you again for joining us.
And we'll see you soon in Redfall.
Here we go.
Все, поехали. Вкусняха сейчас будет.
There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Стартуем.
Hello. It's so much fun to be working with Mojang Studios on Minecraft Legends.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
No.
This is our best sounding Forza Motorsport ever. Yeah, that was alright.
Thanks, and see you in Tamriэль.
Осуждаю. Максимально осуждаю.
All right, let's do this.
Ну давай. Ну. Подожди, у нас что, закончилось, что ли? Погоди, а на Твиче уже идет. Типа 5 минут пишут на Твиче. Походу закончилось. В натуре. Понял. Делаем вот так.
My name is Quincy, and I have the privilege and honor of providing tonight's meal while we patiently await for the 2023 ESO Global Reveal. I hope you're hungry, because tonight we have a special treat for you. I was thinking we would do something slightly rustic yet filling, but also with a more refined presentation for the veteran adventurer such as yourself. I had ingredients from all across Tamriэль brought in for tonight's special occasion, and I'm so excited to spend some of this evening with you tonight. We do have a few moments before the global reveal officially starts, so how about a snack? I have just the thing. Cabbage biscuits with these bits of bacon all throughout, perfect with some butter and jam. So nice. Sound good? Wonderful. Let me show you how to make them.
На Ютубе началось? Да вы что, угораете, что ли? А можно ссылку на Ютубе? Можно ссылку на Ютуб, пожалуйста? У меня трансляция здесь завершена.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Дайте ссылку. скинул. Она не читается тут. В личку кидай. Дропсы пошли, хорошо. Да, дропсы пошли, кстати. Рэй, ты тут? Ребят, скиньте мне в личку ссылку, на ютубе, где с субтитрами. Пожожда. Я прошу хз, где смотреть. Фу, осуждаю. Максимально осуждаю.
Alrighty, here you are, traveler. Fresh from the oven. Careful, they're still very hot. But
welcome to the club,
we have
buddy.
Everything we need for the ESO
Нашел.
global reveal. Now go get us some drinks. You don't
Я
go nowhere.
нашел.
Eat to your heart's content.
Ща.
Thank you for joining us tonight on this epic adventure. Enjoy.
Там русского нет. А там русского все равно нет. Прикольно. Ну все, сидим, смотрим тогда то, что есть. Тед блистай, да, действительно. Не, может, я что-то не понял еще раз. Арабский, немецкий. Ну окей. Главное, коробки пошли. Все. Сидим, смотрим. Выкусите нейросет. Бэм. Уехали. Погромче.
Welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online 2023 Global Reveal. Whether you're coming from our developer direct or just joining us now, we've got an incredible show today. Earlier today, ZeniMax Online Studio Director Matt Farrer shared some exciting details on the Elder Scrolls Online's next adventure. That includes one of the most requested features from the ESO community, a new playable class called the Arcanist. Matt also revealed that the new chapter, called Necrom, will take you back to a familiar location in Tamriэль, Morrowind. And while there, you'll run into a familiar face, a well-known Daedric prince from the Skyrim Dragonborn DLC. That's just a taste of what's to come. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Once again, it's my great pleasure to introduce the Elder Scrolls Online's creative director and my friend, Rich Lambert. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Pete.
Good to see you here.
Yeah, it's so great to be back to talk with you about all the new fun things the team's been working so hard on. I can't wait to share it with you all.
All right, it's time to talk Necrom. Are you excited?
I'm thrilled for this year. We're going to be exploring a new story and theme centered around the Dark Elves and Hermaeus Mora. The best way to describe this story is shadow over Morrowind. But before I go into any more detail, we've got a great way to introduce you to the mood and feel of this arc. It's Elder Scrolls meets cosmic horror, and I can't wait for you all to see it.
Well, they don't have to wait any longer. This is the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom.
Сюда. Убил Руина. Ну, борец. Пуся, привет. Вау.
That was awesome. Those mushroom towers really take me back. And some powerful moments in there. But let's start with breaking down the story in Necrom.
Everything centers around Hermaeus Mora. We've explored small pieces of who this prince is in a few zones in ESO up to this point, but there are complicated Daedric prints. Mora is the knower of unknown and hoards knowledge and secrets in their realm. Some of these secrets are just too dangerous for any being to know. There are hidden powers that threaten Mora's realm of Apocrypha, with the ultimate goal of uncovering one of these secrets. A secret so important and so dangerous that if discovered, it can unravel all of reality.
This isn't just Tamriel that's in trouble. This is all of Nirn.
Yes, absolutely.
So where do our players fit into the mix?
Players are essentially being tested by Mora to see if they are worthy to help aid them. So over the course of this adventure, players will become sort of a protector of this ultimate secret that these hidden powers are searching for. And there's also an opportunity for players to seek out other knowledge if they wish, to dig into some of the origins of our new playable class in the Arcanist.
Cool new playable class. I am so in, and I know a lot of our players are as well. Now, we're heading back to Morrowind this year, but it's not the Morrowind that everyone knows from the Elder Scrolls 3 or even from the 2017 chapter of ESO. So it's going to be familiar, different, a little bit of both?
Yes, sir. We're going to be exploring the eastern portion of Morrowind, specifically the Telvanni Peninsula. It's still home to the Dunmer or the Dark Elves, so you're going to see that familiar alien landscape with the giant mushrooms and all the like, but it's got a very different feel than any of the locations that we've previously explored.
And I'm guessing the city we saw, that was Necrom, yes?
Yep.
And we haven't seen that since the Elder Scrolls Arena, and it looks very different now.
Yeah, a lot has changed since then, but yeah, Necrom is the main city in the chapter. And there's so much amazing lore around this.
Новый Класс.
It's a city of the dead, where Dunmer families from all over Morrowind bury their deceased in these elaborate ceremonies. But there's also some really just wild rumors as to the origins of Necrom. It's a crazy old city, but I'll leave that up to CJ to kind of dig into in just a little bit.
Now, finally, Necrom isn't the only cool location that players are going to get to explore. So tell us about the zone that I'm pretty familiar with, and some of our players will be too, and that's Apocrypha.
Yes, the Oblivion Realm, home to forbidden knowledge.
Also home to the know-it-all Daedric prince that we just saw, Hermaeus Mora. You know, it's always great to revisit other areas of Tamriel that we haven't seen in an Elder Scrolls game, but I know the folks at ZOS like to build everything from scratch. So when it comes to the prince's realm, it's not just like a carbon copy of what we've seen before, right?
The Apocrypha that you know and love from Skyrim it's definitely there. The dark inky waters, the towering stacks of books, you know, those unique yellow-green skies. But like always, we love being able to explore new areas, love putting our own spin on things, and we want to make this our own and give the players new fun things to explore and learn.
It's so exciting. Sounds like a great blend of the old and the new when it comes to like the biomes and the places the players are going to be exploring in Necrom. And in fact, Let's explore more of Necrom right now with more details from the team.
For the regions in Morrowind and Apocrypha that have been explored in previous Elder Scrolls games, we approached them carefully, making sure on one side it felt like a trip down memory lane, but also providing new experiences for everyone. Our destination this time was the Telvanni Peninsula, an area we visited in the very first Elder Scrolls game, Arena. We also caught a glimpse of its coastline in Test 3, Morrowind. This is the first time any game has returned to these lands in almost 30 years, and we were really excited to bring them back. The giant mushrooms and distinctive fungus-covered Telvanni towers are back, of course. The East Asian influences at work in some of the architecture and general aesthetics also return, as does the alien landscape so crucial to representing the lands around Vardenfell. For many players, Morrowind was their first introduction to an open-world RPG, and this concept was reflected in the expansive environments of Test 3. ESO has always honored this basic idea, the idea of a world ripe for wandering, and our depiction of the Telvanni coast will reflect this. The sense of odd scale you may feel walking through it are paramount. In terms of differences, we've crafted a modern view of the city of Necrom, not seen since 1994. Getting to work on something elvish which predates the Tribunal is particularly interesting. Necrom is the Dunmer city of the dead, where all prominent Dark Elves gather to pay respects and lay to rest their honored departed. Lord Vivek, known as the warrior poet, spun some wild stories about the city's foundations, which may or may not be true. But what's definitely true is that the Dark Elves have a particular reverence for the city and its solemn purpose in their culture. It's naturally a cool thing to be able to contribute in any significant way to a long-standing piece of Elder Scrolls lore. For the Telvanni coast, we had a lot of fun playing with the legend of Necrom's foundation. Specifically, the lore of Vivek himself having defeated the great beast Golgomorgil, whose bones supposedly lay the foundations for the city. Entering Necrom for the first time, you're bound to notice the towering rib-like rock formations which envelop the city. The Dunmer have even added some runic symbols on the faces of the rocks themselves in recognition of their supposed origins. Is the legend true or simply apocryphal? Come tour the lands and make your own decision on that one. Necrom is intended to be monumental, reverent, and yet fit in with the shapes and forms we're used to seeing in Dark Elf architecture. The distinct arched doorways and decorative elements are there, as well as the detailed mosaics on the opulent interior spaces. We specifically took a lot of inspiration from the classic Telvanni buildings in Morrowind. And finally, we have Apocrypha. Whenever we venture back into territories from previous Elder Scrolls games, we always try to make sure that our players feel like they're genuinely returning to lands they've traveled before. We took our initial visual cues from the Skyrim Dragonborn DLC. Then we expanded on the ideas presented in the original. We'll be sharing more details on the unexplored areas of Apocrypha later this year. For the meantime, let's talk about the parts that players are a little more familiar with. Some lands in Tamriel appear quite normal to our mortal eyes, and some, like the Telvanni coast, feel foreign. And then there are the Oblivion Plains, whose lands bend our mortal perceptions into the most alien landscape possible. In crafting the Plain of Apocrypha, it was important to remember that Hermaeus Mora doesn't really adhere to traditional ideas of good or evil as many other Daedric princes do. Likewise, Hermaeus Mora's realm isn't a representation of good or evil either. Our take here was to explore the idea of ancient records and how they might be represented physically in a plane such as this. We created fossilized impressions into the rock walls and emerging from the ground, representing the cataloging of all life, experience, and knowledge. Realms of Oblivion are extensions of their master, and so Apocrypha is a clearinghouse for knowledge. It's a repository. It is intended to feel like a place where ancient things and ancient ideas can be preserved, perhaps even hidden, but never lost. There's a ton of story emitting from these locations, from the environment to the architecture. Of course, the characters and creatures breathe even more life into our world.
When we chose the setting for Necrom, we knew we had to deliver a story that lives up to this location, and the team had a lot of fun bringing this story to life. If you're not super familiar with any of the fantasy names that we've been talking about, Imagine a holy necropolis in the middle of an ancient hierarchical society presided over by extremely powerful mages. Yeah, there's a lot of fun tensions there for us to play with. Necrom remains neutral territory in regards to the great houses of Morrowind. Keeping the City of the Dead neutral means all Dark Elves can appease their ancestors and ensure their bodies are taken care of, even as the Three Banners War rages on. This is incredibly important since the tradition of bringing the dead to Necrom predates the Tribunal and the creation of Dark Elves as we know them. It's an integral part of the Dark Elves' cultural identity. In other words, this is an ancient city of the dead which isn't controlled by any one Dark Elf house, even though it's surrounded by the Telvanni Magisters, some of the most egotistical and powerful mages in the entirety of Tamriэль. But the peninsula isn't the only place you'll get to explore. As a writer and certified library nerd, I'm so excited that this year we get to take you to Apocrypha for the first time since the Dragonborn DLC. You'll be accompanied by Laramel the Wise, a powerful mage who works with Hermaeus Mora, the Prince of Forbidden Knowledge. Notice I said with and not for. Laramel doesn't worship Hermaeus Mora. They have a working relationship that's built on mutual respect. As much respect as Hermaeus Mora can have for a mortal. See, mortals don't really survive in Apocrypha for a long time. Knowledge is enticing, but you'd be a fool to assume that it's harmless. And the sheer amount of information there tends to melt mortal minds, mangle their bones, contort their flesh, and turn them into terrifying creatures called the Hushed. Some books are lifeless collections of paper, totally safe to pick up. But others house tome shells, small Daedra who live between the pages of Apocrypha's first editions. They may not necessarily attack you, but if you've ever picked up a shell on the beach only to discover that there was a hermit crab already living in it, then you know just how surprising a tome shell can be. Tome shells and Hushed aren't the only denizens in Apocrypha. No, Apocrypha's guardians lurk around every corner. Seekers attend to the vast library, while lurkers wait beneath the inky waters to dissuade any stubborn researchers from discovering Apocrypha's more dangerous secrets. It's best to be sure that you're really alone before you pick up some light reading. You'll even meet a clanless Dremora called Torvasard, who refuses to let the secrets of Apocrypha remain undisturbed. Torvasard's motives are as mysterious and complex as his allegiances. It's really hard to tell if he's friend or foe.
Гача отряд.
This chapter isn't all about exploring crypts and making friends with Eldritch horrors. There's a dark threat coming for both Apocrypha and Nirn. Vampire mercenaries known as the Dusksabers prowl the Telvanni Peninsula working for Magister Shelreni Barrow. Shelreni seeks to climb the ranks of her house by any means necessary, even working with anyone who will give her the power to achieve her goals. Not everything will be hidden and mysterious, though. If you've played ESO before, there are a bunch of familiar faces for you to find throughout this chapter. I won't spoil all of the surprises, but we are bringing back my favorite Morag Tong assassin, Asher. Okay, yes, Narya will make an appearance too.
Так.
With all this focus on secrecy and forbidden knowledge, it'll be up to you to discover the truth and stop enemies across Eastern Morrowind and Apocrypha. Good luck!
Hey everyone, we're excited to let you all know that the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom is available for pre-purchase right now. While the chapter will launch on PC, Mac, and consoles this June, we've got plenty of reasons for you to pre-purchase and jump into ESO today.
If you're a new player, someone who hasn't played ESO in a while, or you still need to pick up some of our previous chapters, you'll want to go with the Necrom Collection. Either version, the Standard or the Deluxe Collection, grants you instant access to 6 of our previous chapters and the base game. And you'll of course be able to access the Necrom chapter once it launches in June.
That's hundreds of hours of content all in one package. We like to refer to it as 8 games in 1, since each is like its own standalone Elder Scrolls adventure. And keep in mind, you can play these in any order too.
For current players, we're offering both standard and deluxe upgrades, which will provide you with the latest Necrom chapter.
No matter what version you pre-purchase, you'll receive these items. While some will be unlocked at launch, everyone will receive this unique mount immediately.
For a limited time, if you pre-purchase Necrom, you'll also receive this matching pet to go along with the mount that just mentioned.
Coming with the Deluxe Edition is this new Apocrypha-themed, one-of-a-kind mount. That's in addition to other pre-purchase items that come with the Deluxe Upgrade and Collection.
Nice. Separate from our pre-purchase offerings, but just as cool is the Hermaeus Mora Collector's Statue that's available for pre-order at the Bethesda Gear Store. Be sure and secure yours along with some awesome ESO merch, because right now, for a limited time, we have a flash sale running.
Any edition of Necrom also unlocks the new Arcanist class at launch, and we know you've been eagerly awaiting more information on that, so let's check it out now.
All right, we've waited long enough. Rich, it's Arcanist time. Spill some details.
Where do you want to start? You know, this has easily been the #1 most requested feature from players since the Necromancer back in 2019 with Elsewhere.
Well, I mean, why don't we give the players a little bit of the backstory and inspiration behind the Arcanist?
The Arcanist is a new way to play and experience ESO. It's the 7th playable class and channels the power of Apocrypha to create ancient runes of power. This weird knowledge lets them do some truly fantastic things, destroying their enemies with runic magic, summoning tentacles from the abyss, healing their allies, and some even protecting themselves from the worst the Daedric Plains have to offer.
Of course, what everyone really wants to know is, how do you play the Arcanist? And we've got just the person to tell us.
With the Arcanist, we wanted to keep the basic form of the class familiar to everyone, so there's something for all play styles, while letting us be more creative with the abilities themselves. We started off with 3 skill lines: Herald of the Tome, Apocryphal Soldier, and Curative Rune Forms. Each line focuses on a different aspect of the game: offense, defense, and support. The challenge we embraced was making these abilities feel unique compared to previous classes. But not so systematically different that veteran players would feel out of place. I know several of the abilities will leave you awestruck. 2 of my favorite new abilities are Apocryphal Gate and Abyssal Impact. Apocryphal Gate lets you open a pair of temporary portals that you can jump between for extra in-fight mobility, or use these portals for creative exploration. Abyssal Impact is a bit more direct. It has you infuse your arm with unstable magic, transforming it into a tentacular weapon as you thrust forward, damaging and debilitating your foes. I'm also super excited to share that we're doing something very different for the Arcanist, implementing a combo point system. In this system, certain abilities will build points, while others will spend them, giving them an extra bit of oomph by enhancing or augmenting the ability. We're aiming for this to be something that all players can easily get a handle on, so no one should worry that this class will be too technical to play.
Дайте 2.
I can't let too much out of the bag yet, though, so the rest will have to be a secret for now. When we were initially coming up with the Arcanist, we had a ton of ideas and inspiration coming from all sorts of places: movies, comics, classic literature, and both retro and modern games. There was even a handful of anime references. And while we had a lot of great ideas, there was one that led us to a major breakthrough and helped bind everything together: the Black Books of Hermaeus Mora. Now, while this gave us a solid feel for how the abilities should look and sound, you won't necessarily be wielding one of the Black Books. Instead, you'll summon your own tome, in which you've inscribed numerous bits of ancient knowledge that you've gleaned from the Prince of Fate. Think of it like your own cookbook you glance at every so often to spice up your spells. This won't be the only taste of the Arcanist you'll get, though. You'll also come across foes, and maybe a friend, who will wield the same deep magic that you'll learn. There may even be some unforeseen enemies that have tomes worth of forbidden arcane power to throw at you. This is just the first page of the story of this new class. We've had a ton of fun making it, and we've got plenty more to show you as time goes on. I can't wait for you all to experience adventuring Tamriel and the realms beyond, alongside or as an Arcanist.
Okay, Rich, now let's talk about some new features and systems. Start with, any chance there's going to be some new companions?
Yes, in fact, we've got 2 new companions coming to ESO with this Necrom chapter. And for those that don't know who or what companions are, they're your permanent adventuring buddies. Someone that's at your beck and call whenever you want to help you explore Tamriel. And the feedback from players since the inception back in 2021 has been overwhelmingly positive. And we've been looking to expand and evolve it in new ways.
So tell us about the 2 new companions we're going to see.
The first companion is called Sharp as Night, and he is an Argonian warden who is a bit of a mercenary and an enigma. He originated from Blackmarsh, but his past is lost to him, and he spent a lot of time trying to figure out who he is to no avail. He is a lot more reserved than our other companions, as he's lived a tough life and he really isn't overly chatty, and you're gonna have to prove yourself to him. And then there is Azander. Azander is a Redguard male and a little bit of a crazy fatherly figure professor. Think Willy Wonka meets Dumbledore, and he's got this really singular focus on the pursuit of knowledge.
And so what's so special about Azander, Rich?
As some of you might have guessed, with Azander being so focused on this pursuit of knowledge, he's an arcanist himself, so you'll be able to dig into a bit on that side of his story as well.
Some amazing stuff, and that's not all we've got cooking. Like every chapter, we offer loads of side quests, a new trial, there's world events, public dungeons, delves, and more. Roughly how much content do you think we're talking here, Rich?
Players can expect around 30 hours of content just from the main storyline, in addition to all the side content and everything you just mentioned.
Always so much to do in an Elder Scrolls chapter. The team has really pulled out all the stops with Necrom.
We really have, and players won't have to wait too long to begin their Shadow over Morrowind adventure. Players will be able to begin their adventures this March with our first DLC.
Awesome. I will definitely be checking that out. Before we wrap things up, let's talk about some changes that you're planning to the ESO calendar.
Absolutely. So ESO is a living, breathing world that is constantly evolving. As a team, we're always evaluating where we are, what the game needs, and the community sentiment around how well we're doing. And over the years, we have made many changes based on these evaluations. But one of the fundamental pillars that hasn't changed has always been to create as much story content as we possibly can to try to keep up with our players and their insatiable desire for new stories and adventures. And this constant drive is one of the reasons why ESO has become one of the best games on the market today. There's so much to do, so many stories and locations to experience, tons of systems and various activities to participate in solo or with friends.
So what's changing?
We want to continue on creating these new adventures while also addressing quality of life feedback and bugs that have emerged over time. In other words, we want to focus on polish and iterate more on cool ideas, be it stories or systems, with the overall goal of making each release as solid as it can be. The first half of the year isn't really going to change much. We've been hard at work on a lot of this stuff for a very long time. We're still doing a dungeon DLC with 2 new dungeons and a prologue quest to kick off this new arc. The chapter is releasing in June with all the goodies you love and expect. Where things are changing this year are fall and winter.
That's great news for players. Don't stop. Keep going.
Late summer, our focus is going to be on bugs and quality of life additions. Things like pre-made group finder or an all-in-one attunable set crafting station as examples. There won't be any dungeons in this update because for update 40, which comes towards the end of the year, the team is working on something really epic, something pretty special that they just need more time on.
Техработы в течение 3
We gotta give them more than that.
Okay, fine. How does an endless dungeon with a buddy sound?
Oh, sounds good.
We'll have a lot more info on this later in this year, but I'm insanely excited about this.
Sounds very cool. Well, Rich, I want to thank you for all the details surrounding Necrom and the Shadow over Morrowind adventure today. I know I'm excited to play, and I sure hope everyone watching is as well.
We are just as excited. But before I go, I wanted to personally thank the entire team for all of their incredible work. It's truly an honor to be able to represent them here today. Also, on behalf of the entire ZOS team around the globe, I'd like to thank you all for your continued support. You've helped make ESO and its amazing community what it is today.
All right, let's throw it back to Jess and Gina to fill everyone in on in-game events, talk guilds, and more.
So it's obviously no secret that there's always something to do in ESO. In addition to all this content, we offer a wide variety of in-game events catering to all different play styles, from PvP to Overland, seasonal festivities, and more. In addition to our quarterly content updates, this year we'll be having 11 in-game events, plus the themed monthly PvP Battleground weekends. In fact, our first in-game event for the year, the Season of the Dragon celebration, starts in just a couple days.
And who better to enjoy all these events with than friends? ESO is great solo, but even better with friends, or a whole guild of friends. Whether you're into PvP, 12-player trials, crafting, questing, or even fishing and house decorating, there's a guild or 5 for everyone and every playstyle. You can find your first or next guild via the in-game guild finder. If you're a current player and have a guild who is looking to welcome new adventurers, let us know about it on Twitter. Tag us at TesOnline.
And speaking of coming together, we're extremely excited to let everyone know that we'll be hosting an in-person event this spring to celebrate all things ESO and the Shadow over Morrowind adventure. We'll share details on our website and social channels very soon. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about the first DLC in the Shadow over Morrowind adventure, we'll be previewing the DLC and Update 37 live on Twitch this Friday. So be sure and tune in.
That was a packed show. Lots of change, lots of new. A quick reminder that ESO Necrom is available for pre-purchase right now. Visit ElderScrollsOnline.com or your favorite online retailer and claim your mount and pet today.
Я только что увидел,
ESO
27
Necrom
января,
launches
плюс
this June.
обновление
And believe it or
37.
not, we're just getting started. Stay tuned in the months leading up to launch for even more info. Thanks for spending your time with us. We'll see you in
февраль там был. Ивент 26-го. Ивент 26-го, а 27-го что сейчас было? Я могу мотануть? Я не могу мотануть. Что там было еще? Все. Все. Январь там был только что. Ну, блин, я пропустил. Ну вы-то чё? 27 числа было написано. 27 числа? И про ПТС что сказали? Я потом перемотаю, ладно. Окей. Я сейчас перемотаю еще раз, потому что я что-то не понял. 2 секунды, ща. Где там это? Ща. 27 января добавят в этом патче. Завтра? Dungeon DLC и апдейт 2037 превью и январь 27 января. Патч? С DLC-хами завтра? Сегодня 26-е, уже сегодня 26-е. А, это стрим будет. Ага. Окей. Окей. Просто превью. Хорошо, превью, значит превью. Так. Ну что, заглянем к коробке посмотреть, я думаю, да? Как вы? Как вы на это смотрите? Как вы на это смотрите? Глянуть коробки, что там из коробок выпало. Так, сейчас я чатик сделаю. Слушайте, я не услышал по поводу ПТСа. Кто-нибудь что-нибудь слышал по поводу ПТСа? Я что-то в конце не слышал, что в понедельник ПТС. И я такой, чё? Короче, Арканист, Триал, новая зона, Некром, а также территория. И мини-территория Апокриф. Вот. Арканист у нас может быть и классом поддержки, и ДДшником, и, и танком, и хилом, и ДДшкой может быть. Арканист этот. Он может кучу всякого говна. Выходит у нас глава 5 июня. Выходит она 5 июня. Про ПТС скажут 27 числа после превью. Вот. Но это, скорее всего, понедельник будет. Это, скорее всего, будет понедельник. Скорее всего, будет понедельник. Так, давайте посмотрим. Переведение ритуаля. Ритуал. Сейчас выйду. На свет. Ритуал кастинг. Максимально кастую. Бесконечные эмоции, судя по всему. Да, бесконечные эмоции. Можно прожать и забыть. Так не хочет, да? Не хочется раз. Ну, в общем... Ритуал кастинг. Что еще? Что еще? Больше никакой существенной информации. Глава. Значит, у нас будет год поделен опять на 4, да? Или сколько там? На 5 фрагментов. Значит, у нас DLC-шка в марте. DLC-шка в марте с 2 подземельями. Потом у нас идет пролог. Потом 5 числа выход главы. Потом у нас идет в 3-м квартале баг-фикс и прочая хрень. Починка всего того, что они поломали. И в 4-м квартале нам презентуют новую какую-то систему. Хрен знает какую. Вот, 27 числа будет трансляция с... Слушайте, а 27 число, это у нас, между прочим, пятница. Блин, а я в пятницу Outer Worlds хотел. Глянь срочно магазин с предзаказом. Срочно. А как я его гляну, ребят? Я... Здесь? Некром. Сюда. Итак. Давайте чекнем. Великие подчиняторы. Невидимая лошадь сюда. Коняга невидимая. Замечательно. Великолепно просто. Просто прекрасно. Просто чудесно. Баба тоже пытается увидеть коня, но его нет. Ну уйди, женщина, ты мешаешь. Споровый скакун из Садрит-Морры. К сожалению, с вариантами на скорость, запас сил, инвентарь, коняшка невидимая. Не знаю почему. Не знаю почему. Споровый пони. Ну, блин, это пряник. Посмотри, уже печенюшки. Полуостров Телвани и Апокриф. Тень над Моровиндом. Новый класс, мастер рун. Между прочим. Новые спутники. Наряды, свитки опыта, ящик неоперенного, карта сокровищ, слуга из обители. Ну и всякое... Всякое, к сожалению. Вот. Что еще? Что еще? Что еще интересного вам сказать? Что мы еще услышали? Больше ничего. Дата выхода 5 июня. Предзаказ доступен. Которого, блин, в Стиме нет. Страница в магазине посылает тебя на 3 буквы. Предпросмотра шмота нет, к сожалению. Увы. Так, ну что, чекнем карабос? Давай чекнем карабос. Слушайте, а как мне быть с Outer Worlds? Я хотел... А во сколько, кстати говоря, а во сколько будет? Может быть, я успею постримить и то, и другое? Надо будет чекнуть, во сколько будет стрим. Значит, завтра у нас ивент. 27 числа у нас будет трансляция с превью 2 новых подземелий, а также с обновлением 37. Обновлением 37. Вероятнее всего, завтра, извините, в пятницу, вероятнее всего, нам скажут, что в понедельник будет доступен ПТС. На этом ПТСе мы сможем пощупать новый класс, а также 2 новых подземелья, ну и шмотки, которые находятся в этом подземелье. ПТС мы обязательно прошерстим. Наверняка будут какие-нибудь бафы и прочее. И так далее. В принципе, это все. То есть они нам... Синематик офигенный, кстати. Синематик обалденный. Что там было про пак всех DLC? Так это подписка на 7 дней, бесплатная, ИСОшная. Вот он тебе пак всех DLC. Юзай. Намек на новую систему бесконечный данж с приятелем. Я не очень понял, зачем это нужно и что с этим делать. Типа после прохождения данжа все монстры обновляются. Ну, то есть... Качаться. А как ты... Альтернатива аренам для прокачки? Ну, и чё? И народ будет бегать по грибному гроту. Народ точно так же выберет самый быстро пролетаемый данж. И будет по грибному гроту носиться. Повышение сложности с разными модификаторами, как в Варкрафте. Да ладно. Мирак будет? Нет, не показали. Не показали. Браток, привет, как ты? Нормально. Вот, так что я думаю, на сегодня все. Надо будет потом посмотреть, во сколько они будут запускать трансляцию, потому что я хотел Outer Wilds в пятницу постримить, но мы обязательно будем еще и трансляцию смотреть с превьюхой в ожидании ПТС. ПТС будет в понедельник. Как только его запускают, идем сразу же смотреть все нововведения. Андистент? Можно характеристики твоего компа узнать. Ой, елки-палки. Можно. На Твиче написаны. Ну, давай я тебе скину. Давай скину. Если прям так надо. Скину. Вот, так что на сегодня все. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Тайм-код я сделаю, если кому-то надо будет посмотреть. В сообществе ВК я, наверное, сделаю краткую выжимку того, что мы сегодня увидели. И ждем тогда презентацию 27 числа. Завтра ивент. Не забудьте, идем долбить драконов. Все, уважаемые, всем спасибо за просмотр. ББ.